Okay, in this problem we are going from mass of a compound to the number of particles in that compound. We did this before with just simple elements, but now we're using compounds. I've got two different problems we're going to do here. I've got 2.25 grams of sodium sulfate, and sulfite, not sulfate, and we want to know how many sodium ions are present, as well as how many sulfite ions are present. So we'll do the sodium first. We'll do the same process basically for both of them, but it'll be a different ratio. So we'll start with our grams of Na2SO3, and we make our skeleton. And of course, since I have grams here, grams are going to go down there. So grams of Na2SO3 in moles of Na2SO3. How will I find the number to put in with here? I need to find the molar mass of sodium sulfite. So I have sodium, and I have sulfur, and I have oxygen. So sodium's is 22.990. I want to multiply it by 2 because I have 2 NAs present there. Sulfur is 32.066, and just one of those. Oxygen is 15.999, and we're going to multiply it by 3 because I have 3 of them in my formula. And we add all of these things together. So I go to 2.990 times 2, gives me 45.98. I add 32.066. I add 16 3 times, and I get 126.043. So this is my number that I'm going to put into there. 126.043 grams of sodium sulfate in 1 mole of this stuff. But I don't want to end up in moles. If I did, my problem would be over. I want to end up in the number of sodium ions. So therefore, if I'm looking for a particle, for a piece of something, right, like an ion or an atom or a molecule or formula units, then I have to use Avogadro's number to make that change. So in 1 mole of Na2SO3, I am going to have 6.02 times 10 to the 23 formula units of this compound of Na2SO3. And I apologize, it's kind of getting a little squishy. I should have made these guys on the left a little smaller. But I'm not done yet, because this gives me formula units of my whole piece. I want formula units of just sodium. So therefore, I have to go up to my equation here, to my formula, and say, how many sodiums are in 1 formula unit of this sodium sulfite? And you can see that there are 2 sodiums for every one of the whole piece. So 1 formula unit of Na2SO3, for every one, I have 2 sodium ions. And now I would make my multiplication. 2.25 times 1 times 6.02 times 2 divided by the numbers on the bottom. And my answer for that is going to be 2.16 times 10 to the 22 sodium ions. That would be my first answer. If instead I wanted to know how many sulfate ions, instead of using this 2-to-1 ratio over here, since I only have 1 SO3 for every 1 piece of sodium sulfate, I would make this a 1 for SO3, 2 minus. And because I only have 1 of those, the number simply gets halved. That it will be 1.08 times 10 to the 22 SO3 2 minus ions. And that, my friends, is how you will translate from mass of a compound to particles of a compound.